At Cornhusker Auto Center, bragging is not our style, but that doesn't mean our customers can't.
Great people, easy transaction, went out of their way to help. Thank you.
Amazing place to buy a vehicle. Great staff all around.
I would recommend Cornhusker Auto to anyone.
Time out!
We are back to taking a little bit of time out from week 3 of the football season. We'll start off like we did last week with Class D number 2 ranked Lutheran High Northeast, where you might have been worried about them maybe looking ahead just a little bit. I mean, you look at their schedule, they have 4th ranked Wakefield, 3rd ranked Howells-Dodge in back-to-back weeks. And before that, you host Omaha Nation. I mean, I can see why someone would think, okay, they might be looking ahead a little bit. Lutheran High scored 37 points in less than 3 minutes. 59-6 after the first quarter. It was 73-6 with 7:19 left in the second quarter when coaches went to a running clock. 87-28 the final. I would say Lutheran High is well tuned for that this next couple of weeks. Speaking of Wakefield and Howells-Dodge, those two just happened to tangle at what might have been the biggest 8-man game in the area last week. Howells-Dodge led 30-16 after Luke Rochefort had 3 long touchdown runs. Wakefield rallied with 2 touchdowns of their own, but Howells-Dodge came back and stopped them twice on 2-point conversions. The second one midway through the fourth quarter, 30-28 final. Outside of that, though, for the city schools, Friday was, let's just put it this way, it was a rough one. Miko Masner, 18 carries for over 130 rushing yards. Kearney defeated Norfolk High 38-0. Norfolk High falls to 0-3 on the season. For Norfolk Catholic, Riley Carlson hit 2 field goals of more than 40 yards each. But St. Paul scored touchdowns on their last 3 possessions. Norfolk Catholic 0-3 on the season after a 27-6 loss and back-to-back weeks without a touchdown for the Knights. That being said, though, the Knights have played probably the toughest stretch season opening in the state regardless of class, because you had Pierce, you had Aquinas, you had St. Paul, who was ranked number 2. This coming week, BRLD is ranked number 2 statewide. BRLD is ranked number 1 statewide in C2. Elsewhere in Class C, Battle Creek with a huge 15-13 win over defending Class C2 champion Centennial. A bad punt snap for a safety ended up being the deciding factor. The Braves did get a big defensive stop late in the game, though. And Battle Creek 2-1 so far in this season, and really the toughest part of their schedule is already done and over with. They do not play against another team that has a winning record for the rest of the season. 1-2, 1-2. And then the final 4 opponents are all 0-3 to start the season. I don't think that it was necessarily intended to be drawn up that way. I don't think a lot of people have expected it, but boy, you have to feel pretty good about where your season is going right now if you're Battle Creek. Turning our attention to another area team, Pierce with a big 28-14 win over a state-rated Ord team. Quarterback Dalton Freeman was injured early in that game, but Pierce still got a 21-0 lead in the third quarter, hung on, and this is the first game of a really tough stretch for Pierce. You got Columbus SCOTUS on the road next week, Wayne, and Columbus Lakeview in back-to-back weeks. All 4 of those teams, including Ord, are all 2-1 or better so far this season. Turning our attention over to Class D briefly, Ethan Bow had 9 total touchdowns. Wausau defeated O'Neill St. Mary's 72-30 on Saturday. This Ethan Bow kid, kick return for a touchdown, fumble return for a touchdown, interception return for a touchdown, passing touchdown, and then 5 touchdown runs, including a 79-yard touchdown run. Now that, my friends, is a day at the office. Check out the latest ratings in Tuesday's print paper. Wednesday will feature predictions, and for all of our local sports coverage, just buy the paper. Check out that digital subscription, that intro price, like I've said before, 99 cents a month for the first 3 months, and $4.99 a month after that. A word of advice for all you men out there like me. I don't know about you, but when your wife has your birthday, you better spend a little more than $4.99 a month. I'll just say that I felt like I kind of took care of that. It's a lesson I learned very early on, and I'm glad I learned it early on as opposed to later on. Until next time, I'm Nick Benish, and thanks for taking a time out with us.